Figure this out. What's going on, everybody? Yes, it is Monday night. Welcome back to Ray's Motor Life. Yes, we know what Mondays are. First of the week. Most everybody's work day starts back and they drag by. So maybe you just want to jump in and kick back for an hour or so. So here we go. And the topic is yes, I hit 500 subscribers. There's no topic. I just wanted to, look there, clap the camera all the way off. So I just wanted to say, thanks to everybody that supports me and that has subscribed to my channel, and to everybody that just watches that doesn't even subscribe. Viewers to me is what matters. And like I was telling Doc earlier, next year is going to be, really going to put a lot more work into it, twice as much. So what's going on? XAN, we got Evil Rick in the house, Doc Harley. Let's see. I think Motozillans jumped in. Our Motor in the Galaxy. What's up?
Man, you got all the beautiful people joining.
I hear you. So, it's good to have supporters. I always try to support the people back. I really do. That's one thing about me. I will always share people's stuff on Instagram and all kinds of stuff. So, I really, what's up, Frog? I really tried to show the support back as, Salty Bagger. What's up, buddy? Badger. But yeah, I mean, it's just, hitting 500 for me is a big milestone because I started this in 2021, I believe it said, in October. And I've put out, between the live streams and the shorts and the videos, I've put out around 345 or 46. Yeah. So videos and stuff. So it's been really okay. You want to exit that one?
Yeah.
So it's been really like, what's up, Wilkie? So it's been really a long process actually for me. I know some people put up in hell, they'll hit 500 to 1,000 subscribers before they'll even put like 5 or 10 videos up, and I put, like I said, I'm not complaining. I don't care to do the work. I don't try to make movies. That might be one reason why I don't get a lot of subscribers, because I don't edit a lot. And I just show, what I like to do in real time. So, and that's what I believe is like my subscribers and that actually watch my stuff. They're actually, they enjoy it. So I sure appreciate it to everybody. But yeah, I mean, to me, 500 is a big goal. I set for myself, like I always say, I try to set those goals to achievable. And now the next goal will be, of course, 1,000. But I have a lot more stuff lined up. What's up, Snake Venom? And things will come. And I believe, like Doc said, it'll come, and I believe it'll come when it's ready. When the time is right, I'll eventually grow as that channel. So. And I think that we all can, get to our goals. I mean, a lot of people don't even set goals, and that's something I always try to do, though. So,
no, I've always kind of stood by that too, right? That I think if you don't know where you're going or where you want to go, how in the world are you ever going to get there, right?
Exactly.
And my dad always told me, he's like, look, have goals that are realistic, but then also it's important to have some goals that are out there, like where even you think it's crazy. He said, because you always need something to shoot for. And he said, if you're not going to do something where it's crazy, then why even do it in the first place,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, I mean, to me, setting the small goals is what I like to do, because I know I'll get there, and I mean, like I said, if it takes another year or two to get where I need to go, then that's fine with me, because in my opinion, that just gives me time to build,
What about it?
I don't know, but that just gives me time
to around her?
Yeah. All day yesterday. Sorry. That just gives me time to build,
Probably what Bailey had.
that friendships, the networking, And when I say networking, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to people saying, I'm just networking with them, because really the people that are my friends and that I talk to, they know what I'm talking about.
Right.
My friendships are different from networking. When I'm saying networking, I mean, connecting to other companies and businesses and making those, what's up, Jay? Making those, friendships of the networking wise to, have opportunities down the road that I see that I want to do, so, like
No.
you're
Yeah.
a friend. I'm not networking you. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get anything out of anybody. I'm just saying, like,
No.
networking to me is making those connections with companies and businesses that will benefit both down the road. But like Doc or Jay or any of these guys, even all of them in the side chat, friends, I mean, there's a difference. And I know a lot of people say, well, he's just network, he's looking to get something out of somebody. No, I'm not. People can benefit from me just as well as I can them, so
Right.
I
No,
truly
but
believe that. So
yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, not everybody you meet or network with is going to be a friend, and not
yeah,
every friend is somebody who's necessarily, networking. But the thing is, you never know. The whole deal is just like you said, relationships and meeting people. And look, it's just natural that look, friends are going to take care of each other, friends are going to support each other, and again, even for those people that don't become your friends, it still might be an important connection. And
oh
even
yeah,
if and then you get you open up to their folks, and so I mean, to me, it's all about your heart. You know what I'm saying? And just
exactly.
like you were mentioning Doc Harley, right? Like I mean, like already, like I've bounced stuff off of him, right? You know,
Mhm.
I mean, he isn't like, "Oh, okay, let me see what I can get out of Keith," and like
Yeah,
or something like that, or I mean, it's just like, hey, I asked him some questions and I got some advice from him, and so, and by the way, thanks to him, my bike's right now getting that Cyclerama 512 cam in it,
there you
so
go.
I'll have that back
Nice.
tomorrow. That was on his
Ooh-wee.
recommendation, so
That sounds nice.
yeah,
And like I was at Smokeout. Now, of course, I was there to hang out with friends and meet people and hopefully become friends. But now, as I was going through there and talking to these chopper builder companies, Lead Sled and Lowbrow, I'm networking. But also, if a friendship comes out of it, to me, that's a plus always.
always
Full Throttle Magazine, man. I mean, this guy, I'm not just networking with this guy, man. I didn't even know what he'd done. We just helped him get his motorcycle out of the trailer, his Cervicar and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh, I have this such as magazine, 25 years." And I'm like, "Dude, that sounds awesome." You know what I mean? We helped him set up and get some things out of the way because he was blocked in with his trailer next to the RV. And like I'm on Instagram and we talk, here and there. We've been talking back and forth, and it's not just about networking with him, to benefit, and it's about just I met a really cool dude and his wife, man, and they're really good people, and they seem like
right,
really down to earth, nice people. So, friendships to me are made that way, and the bonds are, that's how the bonds are made, and I mean, if you really want to get to know somebody, go hang out with them at an event, a camp out for 3 days and really get to know them, or
well,
go ride with them,
you'll sure figure out who can hold their liquor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's some sure professionals when at those places. I can tell you, dude. Like I
You
don't
guys
stand a
look like
chance.
you are just
Oh,
man.
I didn't. I don't do it. I just
Oh
have a
no, but
drink. I
I'm
just.
saying I'm just watching and thinking, I don't know if it's possible for them to have more fun
Oh yeah. It's
than what I'm getting across the
it's
screen.
such a It's such a great time, man. I tell you, and like I said, I've met those guys sober and they're still just as fun. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right,
they're real, people, and that's drinking or not drinking, they're really,
right. They're just as goofy as ever.
oh yeah, and they're down to earth, man. And the guys I was around, as everybody's seen, man, Sandman to Monkey to, Tiger to Droop to, I mean, Gremlin, Snakeville, all those guys, man, just humble. You know what I mean? Really good dudes. Do anything. You know, I mean, the Thumpers. I mean, just amazing group. You
Yep.
know, and I think everybody should. Like I said, if you haven't spent any time at one of those campouts where you go and you don't even need to take, like when I got there Thursday, man, I parked my motorcycle in one spot and I never started it again till Sunday morning. You know, and didn't even move it. It stayed in that one spot. And you don't, and that's what I like. You don't, it ain't a riding rally or none of that. You don't have to go riding. You don't have to do that. Everything you need is just in that closed in area, you know, and it's enough. You know what I mean? It was actually enough stuff where you didn't have to go anywhere and do anything unless you really just wanted to go out for a ride, you know.
Right.
And of course, we was in North Carolina, so I'm sure you could find somewhere to ride because it's beautiful over there. So,
Well, it looked like it was a blast. That's all.
oh, it was, man. And like I said, I've been trying to decide really for this next year. You know, I'm really wanting to shoot for, of course, Daytona, and then April shoot for Leesburg. You know, try to do that one as well. I'm trying not to over plan because I'm not that kind of guy because I just don't know what's going to happen with the kids, you know, and the things that come up. So
Kick
I
'em
try
out.
not to. Yeah, really. I try not to promise anything or I'll be anywhere, you know, but there is definitely, you know, some, you know, a few that I will guarantee do, you know, like Loretta Lynn's TMMR, you know, that's local, you know,
Right.
4 hours away. That's something I can do, no issues, you know. Now Smokeout, that's 6 hours away. I will definitely be doing that again. Really gonna, you know, the Daytona one. I really don't care for the Daytona rally. I care about the people like Doc, you know, and all them. They're gonna be there in the campground. You know, to me, that's the better place is just to hang out. And of course, I'll ride around and go do things. What's up, Drew? You know, and have fun. But the thing is, I will also. I'm really trying to get more in for next year. Like I want to go do the bikes, blues, and barbecues. I want to go hang out with Mike
Yeah.
riding in the Ozarks. You know, I've met him. Really good people out there, him and Steve, and of course Mike's old lady Firecracker. I mean, just really good people, hands down. I think XAN, you know, he's met them in St. Louis when we was in St. Louis in February. I think he's going to have a blast out there, seeing them again and stuff. So, and Jay's out there. You know, Jay always goes to, you know, those rallies out there. So, you know, really looking forward to meeting Jay. And what's up, Robert? So, you know, it's just there's so much to do, but I'm really trying not to overpack. You know what I mean? My bags because. Of course, I'd love to just travel to every one of them. You know what I mean? But
Right.
that's kind of, you know, what's up, Tiger? You know, things that are in motion right now. I may be doing a lot more things than just going in and having fun. So, and like I said, with the motorcycle being seen to, hopefully tomorrow, hopefully I will be entertaining the new 2-in-1 exhaust and a new Saddleman seat soon. So
Nice.
what's up, DDK, buddy? Yeah. So, I mean, really needing to get some, you know, things took care of with that motorcycle before I get on the road and do some long travels. Because I
Right.
mean, 6 hours ain't long. I ride that in a day around here. You know, that ain't, you know, just so. I mean, going to North Carolina wasn't long. It's just that cable. So, but you know, doing a 10-hour ride out to, you know, Arkansas and stuff like that, or Florida. You know, I've been to Georgia a couple of times, 6-7 hour rides. That's no issues, except for the bike if it gives me issues. But I just want to make sure everything is up to par, you know, before I
Right.
do that.
No, for sure. I mean, look, before I got like last year, we were in New Hampshire and I rode to Sturgis, which was 2,200 miles. I took my bike over to Laconia Harley and said, "Hey, man, I'm about to be 2,200 miles, and then I'm gonna do 1,000 while I'm there, and I'm gonna have to come back." I was like, you know, just run over it. Make sure it's
Yeah.
all make sure I don't have anything that's gonna fall off. 900 miles in.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand, Doc. The cable they were supposed to mail it out this past Monday, and it didn't get mailed out till Thursday. So it's supposed to be here tomorrow. So hopefully, we will be hauling the motorcycle to the shop tomorrow to get fixed. Just another issue, and I could tell I was that's why I said, well, I could tell I was at a chopper rally because I broke down on the way home. I felt like I was on a chopper because how many people ride choppers and they constantly are, on the side of the road fixing them. Not all of them, but there's a few. If you're really riding a chopper, a lot of places, there's sometimes issues. 03 Road King, what's up? And I felt like, yeah, I left the chopper rally because I'm sitting on the side of the road, and that's all part of it. I didn't get mad. I didn't get crazy and upset. I could have, I could have got real pissed, but that wasn't going to fix the bike. You know what I mean?
Right.
Me getting upset wasn't going to make the bike automatically run. So, and I was just trying to think to myself, thank God it wasn't the motor or anything. And, with that. So, like I said, when I first got the bike, I had the transmission completely pulled out, new gaskets, new bearings, seals, whatever, all that stuff, had it done, put back in. So I know that stuff's good. I had it all gone through. So it's the simple things. It seems like it always affects me,
Right.
just a little bitty knickknacks that messes up. And of course, those little knickknacks are expensive, and that's what I told my mechanic. I was like, dude, how long has it been? He looked at his file and he's like, 8 months. I said, yeah, not even a year, man. That cable. And I gave $628 for that whole set, extensions, everything. They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
He
it
said,
wasn't like you skimped on it or something.
no. And that's what he said. What's up, GQ? And that's what he said. He was like, well, even if they don't send a new one, I'm going to stand behind it and fix it. So, that was good of him
Well,
to
he's a
say,
good dude.
oh yeah, because he knew that, I didn't do it, you know what I mean? And it should have lasted longer than that.
Right.
And so 8 months, I've probably put, a couple thousand miles anyways on it, 3,000, 3,500 or something. So I know it ain't got over 5,000 miles on it. So from the new cable. So it shouldn't have broke that quick. So, but did you guys, are y'all getting everything set and ready to come this way here? What, next week or 2 weeks?
Yeah, let's see. We leave here on the 7th. So 3 weeks. A little less than 3 weeks, and we will be in your neck of the woods. And so we leave here on Saturday morning, and we'll be at that RV park on the Sunday, probably Sunday morning, honestly. And
Yeah,
then,
DDK, this will be the second cable I've put on there. Tomorrow will be the second cable I put on there in less than a year. Because I had the factory cables on there, and then when I got those bars, I had to order all those new cables and stuff. And then and when I ordered them, and like I said, it didn't last 8 months. So yeah, petty stuff, Robert. Try not to. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's Doc. I don't know, man. They're the Black Pearl cables, which they were recommended. Yeah, I figured, I figured, Tiger, they should at least lasted a couple of years, anyways. I don't understand. Like I said, I guess if they do it again, I'm going to try to find the guy that makes them. Like Thumper, he had a guy that made his, and so I'm really gonna, if something else happens to him, I guess that's the route I'll go. Is just to find somebody that can make them and do them that way. So, but yeah, it's just
yeah, it's not like you're out there drag racing the thing.
no, and that's what he knows that. He knows my motor ain't got no work done to it. It ain't no big motor. I'm not, burning tires. I'm not doing that stuff. So he knows, and I was only doing like 50 mile an hour and a 45 or something like that. coming in front of a big prison, and I was just riding it. I felt it and heard it. It just snapped, and I was like, "What the?" I knew exactly what happened to it as soon as it did it, and I was like, "That doesn't make sense, man." I was like, I could have got so irritated real quick, and I was like, "That just doesn't make sense to be that new and then to break." But it could have been a faulty cable. It could have been just a cheap. It could have been just 1 out of 100 that was faulty.
Yeah, I mean,
What's up, buddy?
It happens. It's
Yeah,
just irritating
Brooklyn
when it
Biker.
happens to you.
You was at the block party. Oh man, I bet that was awesome. The Indian Larry. Yeah, I seen some stuff from that, man. That seemed like a wild event, man. Have you heard about that where they do the Indian Larry block party?
Yeah, I've never been, but I've seen
No, that would be
I've
cool
just
though. Yeah,
pictures.
yeah, dude, that would be a wild experience to be up there in New York like that. There's a lot of those performance guys that go to that.
Was that in
And-
conjunction at all with Ocean City or?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's the Indian Larry and Paul Cox and the Indian Larry shop, and then they it's just like a memorial thing they've been doing, for him, and since he died, pretty much.
Right. I think they auctioned off, the National Motorcycle Museum in Iowa that just closed down, and they just did the big. I don't know if it was Mecum or if it was the other big auction place. I think it was Mecum, but I know that he had an Indian Larry motorcycle in that place, and I wondered, was that on loan from somebody,
Well, I
or
know.
was it, did they auction that
There was
thing
a
off?
few years back, they did an auction on some of the Indian Larry's bikes, and one guy bought both, like two of them. Like he bought one and then he bid on the other. And they was like, no, you might as well keep them together as a set. I forget who he was, so he bought two of them, and I believe one of them was the white one that was his daily rider, and one of them may have been the mystery of chain, or something like that. I can't remember correctly. I'm sure somebody would correct me. Brooklyn Biker, thanks, man. Yeah, we're all just like-minded people, dude. We just like to hang out and have a good time. Let's see. Did you? I didn't do the work, man. The mechanic's supposed to know that shit. I thought, and we could only find two companies that carried my cables for my 07. They had them in stock, and one of them was LA Choppers, and they was wanting like $700 something, and I wasn't paying that, man. So I ended up paying $600. So, yeah, I bet it is, Doc. Always wild riding or driving in New York. Shit, that would be just, I don't know, man. I would have to be on something I could split lanes, because those cars just seem a little too crazy for me up there.
It's just the ocean of yellow cabs.
Yeah. I mean, watching Knives by Nick go from Texas, he was up there this past weekend. Big, long hair. He makes his own knives and stuff. And I met him at the TMMR, Loretta Lynn's, rally. Man, him and a buddy, they rode all the way up there to there, and they were there. And you got this little crowd of chopper guys there. And honestly, there's a lot more performance guys that show up, but there's still this section of chopper dudes, and like he went up there, and everything. And I was watching his live streams he was going through, the city and all that. And I was thinking, man, that would be a cool experience to go through there like that on a bike, but I wouldn't want to do it every day. There's no way that I would want to ride in that mess every day,
Right.
Just because Indian Larry did, man. Them guys rode it every day and on a chopper. And his hardtail, that's what they were saying, like the potholes and all that stuff going through New York and shit. It was rough, and because they're not always, downtown, big, whatever you call that place, Times Square, they're in the Brooklyn and, and the
The
ghetto-ish, yeah, and the places, and you know, there's some rough streets, you know, but yeah, I don't think I'd want to be just in that mess a lot. So
No. When I lived in Houston, I was a
yeah, grease
I always
monkey.
I always tell people I was Fonzie for about 7 years. I was a bike only. I didn't even own a car in the late '90s, early 2000s, and so I rode downtown Houston to work every day, and that was no fun. Except that I was on the bike, which was fun. Like it was just more for therapy, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Mental health. Um, but yeah, it wasn't like you're enjoying the scenery or anything, but the ride was cool just to get out and be in the air, be in the
And
wind.
that's what he's saying. Brooklyn Biker says it's not
Oh
so
yeah,
much the yellow cabs, it's the Ubers. And I wouldn't doubt it because them fuckers are crazy, dude. I rode in what me and Dallas rode and got some Ubers in St. Louis. I know St. Louis ain't as big as New York, but let me tell you, man, them guys, they drive like madhouses. You know what I mean? Like they fly everywhere. They just, they want to get you to where you're going so they can hit that next pickup. And I'm like, dude, them fuckers are crazy. I would not want to be around in the city like that where on a motorcycle because they don't care. But now
right.
riding it, we got to ride in a Tesla, dude. First time I ever been in a Tesla. Let me tell you, that motherfucker jumped on the interstate, little highway interstate. And that thing was like, dude, will this car go fast? We was wanting him to go fast, and boy, that dude, he fucking floored it. And I tell you what, to be an electric car, I was impressed, man. I have to say
It's
it.
all torque, man.
Yeah, I was completely impressed with that Tesla, dude. Now, would I own one? No, but I like riding in it.
No, yeah. It's funny you said the only time I've ever ridden in a Tesla is when I've ridden in an Uber Tesla. So
Yeah, it's like I said, I never even I've seen a couple out, but I never even been in one. But
yeah, if you lived in a
it,
city or something, but even then,
yeah,
man,
you
if you
still feel it
if
on
you
your
ever
back.
need to get out, it's like I don't want to be I'd rather be at the mercy of a gas station than a freaking, you know, power plug.
Yeah,
And by the way, it takes you, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to gas up.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, you need to stay here for, 2 hours if it's a supercharger.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
It's
Yeah,
not,
and if it's not, you're there for what, 24 hours? I mean, what
hope
are you
you're
going
not
to
on a
do?
time schedule.
I mean, not just that. I mean, you got to plug it in, and then what? You're going to just walk around some city you don't know for 3 or 4 hours. I mean, come on, really? They're unrealistic.
The whole thing's a scam.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, why are they not putting them at every rest area on the interstate instead of down inside cities?
Right.
They need to be on every rest area or every freaking truck stop, on the interstates. So, because that's where people are going to travel. And
Right.
the cities,
Well,
I get the people commuting around the cities, but
yeah.
dude, who's going to just get off the interstate and drive into a city just to charge their shit in a city they don't know? I mean, anything can happen. People are scared to death anyways these days of their own shadows. So, I mean, they're not going to drive,
But do you know the
in,
cost of the infrastructure? So back in the day, I worked for a utility in the South, and I'll just say that I won't name names, but a large utility, multi-state. And I was on some committee for like new technology, and they had this bright idea that they were gonna fill up downtown New Orleans with these fast chargers, and I'm like, you don't have. First of all, this place is underwater. It's
yeah.
-4 feet or whatever it is, 10 feet. I said, so yeah, so let's do that. I said, but on top of that, like you're gonna already take a place that has a shortage of parking, and now you're gonna basically steal all that parking so you can put a bunch of superchargers in there. Like, come on.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Because as soon
No.
as it rains, I mean, just like California, though, like they were saying, when they were getting all that flooding and that storm and shit, what's going to happen to the
yeah.
cars when they burn up? You know what I mean? When they start catching on fire. I mean, they may not do it immediately, but say somebody's car got soaked and then, 2 days later they're driving it and the damn thing catches on fire. I mean, there you go. That goes your family burn up in a car because they want you to use electric.
At least you're environmentally conscious.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
now you don't
At
have
least,
anybody to do your laundry. I guess the
Yeah,
good news is you don't have to go to PTA
Yeah.
meetings anymore.
I hear you. Yeah, like I said, them things are always, I know what they're going to say, and like to me, it's like pointless because my kids don't do anything. Uh, I'm not going to say they don't do anything wrong. They argue with each other. They're girls. I mean, they're teenagers, but at school stuff, they're pretty good. So I don't
Right.
have to worry about that issue. Uh, I've never had an issue with the schools with my kids. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just I can't wait till you guys get to the south. The southeast, I should say, because dude, I know you're not going to want to be up north in all that winter all year, are you?
Oh no, we only come up here we only go north in the summer.
Because
And
I know what Richmond, that still gets a little winter, but I don't think it gets real bad like Michigan or Wisconsin or those places up there. So
no, I think it'll be a little bit, but hey, last winter we spent in Fresno, California, and I'm telling you right now, you wouldn't think that that place would be cold. It was, and that's where the citrus and nuts. I mean,
yeah,
they got, I mean, fruit and nuts, which is, I'll let that joke just sit there because it makes itself. But like we were in that valley over there, and it was in the at night. It get in the 30s,
yeah.
and it was cold in Fresno, Arizona in the winter. I
So
was
yeah, well, when I was 17, I went to
so Richmond won't be any worse than
Huntington.
that.
I think Wilkie says it does. If I'm correct to what he's saying when I said Richmond, I don't know if it does. I don't think it does that much. But now when I was like I was 17, I went to Huntington Beach, California, dude, and I got out on the beach and it was like cold. I was like, what the fuck is this, dude? The wind and shit between the wind and
Right.
stuff. It was cold, and I was like, I thought this was like the surf capital,
Yeah.
sunny, fun, fun in the sun shit. I was
Not
like,
in
dude,
January.
I had to put a jacket on. Yeah. And I was like, this is crazy, man. So it is a different climate. It's a different, completely, area out there. It's not like the South, even Texas, the whatever that beach is down there.
There's no beach. Well, I mean, I will say this: if you go towards if you go to Padre Island, like towards Corpus,
Corpus. That's where I
somewhat
was
of a
talking about
beach.
Corpus.
But
Yeah.
like Galveston, oh man, I
He
remember.
says
So
if you think
yeah.
30s are cold, you're screwed.
Mm.
Well, 30s are cold for me, and I'm on a mountain.
Hey,
I actually live
no,
on top of a
30s
mountain.
30s are cold on a bike always. I don't
Yeah.
care who you are.
Yeah. What's up, Doc?
If you don't have
Hey, what's
heated
happening?
gear, you know,
Yeah, that's something my wife asked me if I wanted this year with some heated gear. I was like, hell yeah.
yeah. Hey, I've ridden in
that-
single digits, and I'm telling you, the difference between single digits and 30, you can't really tell.
What's up, Jamie? Yeah, my wife's like, do you want some of that? And I was like, yeah, because I was asking her because we were talking in DDK. I was asking him because his wife got him some heated gear, and I was like, dude, what brand? What do I need to get? What voltage? And because, sorry, I got hiccup because he was like, telling me how his worked, and it really worked good. And I was like, dude, because it would allow me, really, it allows me to ride more, in the
Right.
winter time or the colder months. And because I don't, with my blood and my health, I don't get out if it gets below 50, you know what I mean? 50, 55. I will not get on the bike. And that's just me. I can't do it. And now with heated gear, I can do it.
Right.
If I can stay warm, I can ride more. So yeah, Doc, man, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, congratulations on 500.
Oh, dude,
Praise
it
the
feels like 400 to tell you the truth. But thank you. I mean, seriously,
And I'm talking about your age.
I mean, it feels great. It's a good feeling. Now I know I got to 500. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But to me, it's a slow process and it's a hard work process, and I'm willing to do it. It's just like I said. I think the timing will come. It was meant to me hit 500 and stuff like that. So, I I don't know. I now my next goal is 1,000, and then just to keep going. So
Bingo.
um,
And,
and I'm
like we always said, Ray, it really isn't about the amount of subscribers. It's about creating the content, creating the friendships, and having fun while you're doing it.
and that's right.
The subscribers will come or they won't. It doesn't really matter as long as you're having fun.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's it. I really believe that, where I do what, the videos I do, the shorts I do, there's a couple that I just play around with and do stupid crap. But a lot of it is what I'm doing. And I want people to see it. So I believe the people that want to watch real shit and me anyways, in that real moment time, they'll watch. And like I said, I appreciate everybody that has subscribed or even watches that don't subscribe. Hell, I'm happy somebody watches. You know what I mean? So,
Well, you always got Keith and I and everybody else like that.
yeah. And so you had a fun weekend, didn't you? I know you probably don't want to talk about it.
Yes, I
But
did. We were up at the Catskill Mountain Thunder, their annual bike rally. It runs the same weekend as the Ocean City Bike Fest. And, it's kind of a laid back, relaxed kind of festival, not a rally, if you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying. But the cool thing was with our hotel stay, we got to see the concerts for free. And the concerts on Saturday was, did I scare Keith off?
no, he's grabbing something to drink. So
Adelita's Way opened up on Saturday. Drowning Pool followed behind them, and then so did Saliva.
oh, really?
Yeah, so
Saliva?
Saliva. So the cool part was I hung out Saturday before the concerts, right around 6 o'clock. The concert started at 8:30. I was hanging out with CJ, the guitar player for Drowning Pool. So he and I got to hang out and talk and have a good time. And everything rock and roll, man. Dude, down the earth, salty earth kind of guy. He's a great guitarist, but he's even a better person to talk to and meet.
Yeah.
And at the end of the concert, we bumped into the lead singer Saliva. Saliva. We were chatting with him, and I was a little too festive or intoxicated to do any pictures with him. But one of the cool things we got from CJ, he gave us their latest CD for free.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And they do 5 posters at every stop on this tour. And we got poster 1 of 5.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so that was cool. So we're going to get that framed. I'm going to hang it up here.
Oh, yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I'm going to hang it up right up in here, probably right on this board here. So it'll be seen with the light on, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's
Yeah.
signed by all the band members.
That's
So-
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we seen Drowning Pool there at Smokeout, but I didn't get close to the stage because I've been getting this real bad where I've got vertigo.
Yeah.
I don't get real close to the big crowds and the music,
Yeah.
and it really affects my hearing and with me. So I kind of always stand way back at a distance because I can hear them. And that's why a lot of people say, don't you like the music? Yeah, but I don't have to be way up close. Like at Sturgis, I can stand. I don't have to be right up there at the Buffalo Chip listening to. I can be way in the back or at the campground. And as long as I hear them, I'm okay, because my vertigo does, it affects me. So like Drowning Pool was playing and I stayed back a couple hundred yards. I didn't get real close, but I could still hear them and feel them a little bit. So, they sounded real good. I never really sit down and listen to them a lot, but seeing them live, they actually did pretty good. I thought, live. Yeah. So
they sound just as good live as they do recorded, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's hard to do.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
We were right up front, up against the security gate. And now you ready for the big news, Ray? You remember our friend Emily, Lady Bike Builder?
Oh, yeah. Was she there?
She was there. She was there in the Biker Build Off, and she won Biker Build Off. She beat out 5 other. There was total 6 bikes, and she took first place. The third place bike was her boyfriend's.
Huh.
So I said
Did she
to
build
him,
that one too?
Yeah,
so
no
I
shit.
I said to him, I said, "So how does it feel to get your ass kicked by your girlfriend?" He goes, "That's okay. She's buying dinner tonight. It's steak and
There
lobster."
you go.
Hey, what bike did she enter?
She actually
Was
it
it
was
a
a
different
bike
one
with
than what
Billabong.
she
and they had to show up there with
with the bike they built?
a bare frame
Oh, okay.
and build a bike up from there. And I said to her a couple times, "Em, what are you doing? You got to get this bike done." She goes, "I'm so far ahead of schedule. I could take tomorrow off and still finish time."
She knows what she's doing. That
Yeah.
woman is good. Yeah,
That
she's
makes one of
good.
us.
Yeah, I jumped up on the lift to help her out with the left fork, putting the fork cap on
Yeah.
and compressing it down with the spring, the preload. She was able to do the right side, but she was out of gas to do the left. So I jumped up there. I said, "You need a hand?" She goes, "Oh, please." I jumped right up there, and I'm sitting there and I'm putting it down. I got it for her, and then she tightened them up, and it is what it is. It was a good time. It really was.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch those people work though, like in person because
They had grinders going, they had welders going, they had a tubing bender there. They actually had a metal lathe there for people to turn metal, and people were turning. They were moving metal. Her boyfriend literally cut up his frame and modified it and did all sorts of crazy stuff. You'll see it in my video to that frame, and it was the frame came out awesome. I didn't like his tank and the placement of the tank, but that's
yeah. So
He
is that giving you any ideas though? I mean, just to see
No.
that? No.
No.
You already got everything set in your mind?
well, yes, no, and yes. I did.
I'm gonna do
rolling
this, and
chassis
then
pain,
it seems
so
like we
now
get
I'm
to one.
rethinking everything. So
So
Um,
it seems like we get to one point, and then we're like, that I better change it. Then, or I
Well,
want to change it. And
like,
then
When have you ever met a motorcycle guy who was like, "I'm good"?
yeah, no
Yeah.
shit.
and when you build a chopper, and I explained this to Noggin, you can have in the beginning, you can have laser focus of what you want, but
It's not.
when you start getting going, the bike will tell you what it wants to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you just sort of bend to the will of that bike without even knowing it. And
Yeah.
when you're done, you got this amazing bike.
I sent him some information, man, the other day, and I was like, dude, please look this stuff up. Please look at this company.
Yeah.
I wasn't just trying to promote this company, but Lead Sled Customs, man. They broke the mold with Sportster choppers, man. That's what they do. Sportster choppers. That's all they do. And I'm like, dude, I was sending him these things of this company. I'm like, look at them, man.
Yep.
Just they're priced so good for the things like the hardtail weld on or the screw up, whatever one you want. $1,400. I mean, come on, dude. That ain't bad. Sprinter front ends, and it was all. And the reason I sent him this is because he's got a Sportster. He wants to do it out of Sportster, and I'm like, this right here company is what broke the mold for the Sportster choppers. And if you ask anybody that knows them in the industry, they will tell you Lead Sled Customs, man, and they sell everything, and they build some rad ass Sportster choppers. What's up, PA?
And the sad part is Lowbrow Customs sent me that gas tank, that coffin shape, and it's 1.2 gallons. And when I put it on the frame, it's just too small.
I think you need a 4.5 Indian Larry or something different.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I mean,
So
not necessarily just Indian Larry, but at least you can get a red.
Yep. I'm gonna contact Lowbrow Customs, ask them if they want that back to put in their inventory.
Yeah, because I think you can do better.
I can't use it. And they donated it for this build. Yeah. And if they tell me to keep it, what I'll do is I'll have it painted to match the bike and then offer that as a second prize.
I was going to say, because, dude, I mean, no offense towards them or you, but that frame, it just doesn't go with that frame.
No,
it's not fitting.
It's too small.
Yeah. That to me,
2.5 gallons, maybe.
The frame to me looks more like you need like not a crazy shape, but like like maybe like a Billy Lane tank or something, like more stretched, like a stretched tank or something to fit that frame. Or, I mean, you could set up a small tank on it. I mean, to me, it just doesn't suit it. I've watched a lot of other chopper guys from Born Free, the invited builders, and they'll go back and forth in their mind. They'll make tank after tank, and they just don't, and I think you'll find the right one eventually, but I just don't see that little coffin tank on that frame. It just doesn't suit it because
Nope.
you think you have everything else on there, wheels and tires and everything. I mean, it's going to look like a little peanut just sitting there, and it just doesn't suit it, in my opinion.
Nope.
I mean, even if you went with a coffin tank, if you went with a bigger one now, it would
Nope.
suit it,
The only one I could find that's bigger is 2.5 gallon.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that might be too small.
Yeah.
As well.
Well, my peanut tank is 3.2, and it's decent size,
Yeah, because it's small.
Yeah.
I'm looking for streamlined, but yet stylish, but also fits the bike. This doesn't fit the bike. It's too short. It's too narrow.
Yeah, you need a small
it's-
little. For that tank, you would need like a little Sportster frame.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that or some kind of little Paco frame or something.
Yep. And that was my original idea, is to build a Sportster chopper. But this frame came to me. Thank you, Moto Noggin.
Yeah, I mean,
that hey, it's taken its first turn and now second turn.
Yeah.
So
take what you can get. And actually, dude, it looks like that frame. I mean, I don't know how you feel about the long Springer front ends, but dude, that frame looks like it could go up a few more inches. Like you put a big front end on that stretch, and I ain't talking about like a 20-foot, I'm talking about like a
10 over Springer.
Yeah, something, I think it would look right.
Yep.
I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Count's Customs, the guy in Vegas, the TV show, but that guy put out some killer 70s choppers, man, with the Sugar Bear. And I know Sugar Bear, that's expensive and you can't dig into that, but you can find something at a swap meet or something that style, maybe not the exact Sugar Bear front end, but dude, a long chop, with the straight drag bars and it just coming up in the front with that 70s style.
I want bunny ears.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well, I was going to say,
bingo.
I see that like 50 different ways. You know what I mean? I look at that and I can see 50 different choppers in my mind. Like really, I can see that.
And you know what's funny? I probably get the bunny ears with the Springer front end on there.
And not like it.
And I look at the bunny ears going,
they don't fit.
It's not,
they don't match.
Well, it just doesn't speak to me as a design, as a designer, as a builder. Because I'm designing and building this thing all out of my head, and I don't have the artistic talent to draw it out and to see if that's something I wanted. I'm not that good.
Right. You got to see it, and then
I have to physically see it.
Yeah,
and,
I get that.
But but Dr. Harley, you said it though, man. Like it's funny because like I read books about writers a lot, and because I'm fascinated by the whole creative process, right? And all the great writers will tell you that the guarantee that your book will not be what you think it is about is if you go into it with the ending in mind. Because he said, like I know Stephen King said this, that basically he starts out and the story takes the path the story wants to take. And so it's real interesting to me that it really doesn't matter what the creative endeavor is, whether it's writing or building a bike. The idea is really still the same, is that the story will tell itself, and that's a very cool thing.
Yeah, it is. And it's exciting to see how what I described as a 1960s style chopper, 1960s, 1970s style chopper, and that's what I wanted to build. And now it's going into like the 80s and 90s style because of the frame that I got.
Oh yeah, I see it low and like custom, trying to think of them guys' name. Joe Martin and them and all them when those guys was building those bikes. Now I like somebody a lot of people don't realize he was in the chopper builds, but he was a plain guy. That Exile choppers,
Yep.
man, he just did that black and not chrome. It was like that platinum color. And he just did that raw look of that chopper, Exile. And, he was from a different country and he had that short blonde hair and he spoke with a different language, but he really had some wicked shit going on in his head, the things he could put together, but yeah, the way that frame is sitting, man, it seems like it's more of that, like, I can't think of the guy's name. But I know what you're saying. That style chopper, it's more like a low, long, kind of
Yeah.
not unless you turn it into like, the bigger, you put a bigger front end, taller front end. I don't know. I mean, there's so many different ways you could do it. I think it's just going to take, a little time to figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Little
just,
finesse.
maybe a
I'm
little
already-
welding, cutting.
Yep, I'm already planning on cutting the rear fender. I know what I want to do to cut that fender. It's just marking it off and then cutting it. And it's going
I
to
mean,
take.
look at Tommy Lee's bike, dude. The drummer, Tommy Lee. I know a lot of people don't like him or whatever. I don't
Whatever.
care for me, but that black chopper he has, dude, that's sick, man. I mean, it's just, there's so many different ones out there, and then you got, the low cut, like you said, the mid 2000s custom chopper or whatever.
Yep.
It's that. Which, in my opinion, any look is good. If you do it, it's not going to be a bad bike. But I'm more into like the skinny frames and I don't want a wide body. I don't want a wide tire. I want the skinny back tire. I want the skinny 21-inch spoke in the front.
That was my plan, was a skinny chopper in the beginning. With the tall sissy bar, with the pipes that went up behind the sissy bar, with the king queen seat. I could still do king queen seat on this, not a problem, and it would still look good. But I think the tall pipes going up behind the sissy bar on that frame won't look good. But I think the 45-degree upswept fishtails would look good on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to place it because I ain't like sitting there looking at the frame in person. If I was sitting there looking at the frame, I could picture it more in my mind of what I could do. But even if you just took it and did I'm going to send you a picture on Instagram, dude. And this is through Lead Sled Customs. And I mean, they got some killer frames, $1,075 for hardtail. I mean, that ain't bad at all, and I mean, just the way you're talking about, though, I think the King Queen would fit. Let's see. My internet is so damn slow, guys. Sorry.
That's because StreamYard's eating it up.
That too. But here, let me send you these pictures on Instagram.
Well, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm not building this chopper for me. I'm building it to support homeless veterans program here in Connecticut that services New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, all around. And they're not federally funded. They work off of donations and the bed space that they rent out at their 5 different houses that they rent out to the VA. Or halfway houses, things like that. So I'm doing this to help them raise money.
And that's what I was saying, where it's such a good cause. I think eventually it'll turn out the way you want. It'll be there. I mean, you can always do that low look there. You know what I'm showing you? Those pictures there. That's kind of a low look. I would show it on my on the YouTube or StreamYard, but it's like I said, my internet's mess. It's just moving slow
I'll
today.
tell you what, I'll bring it up and I'll just share my screen. How's that?
Okay, that's fine. And that way everybody can see what I'm talking about. Because if it's that low, if it's the low frame, like I'm thinking, you can still do certain things with it. It's just not, you just have to have the right mindset to actually turn it into that. You actually, you can still do it though with the king queen seat. I think
Yeah.
it's just going to be a low. It's just going to be like that picture I showed you. It's going to be low. Like
Yep.
here it is, guys. So right here. So if you guys look, it's still got the king queen seat. It's just a lower, kind of bike.
Yep.
The front end still a Springer, but the bars is different, So I mean, it's not. I don't know. I think it still looks good. So
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
still a Sportster, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, it is. That's still sporty, but it looks good. There's nothing wrong with that Sportster.
That's a good looking bike.
Hell yeah, it is, and that's what I'm saying. You don't have to have, like
That
he
is
said, he
clean.
wants to do the king queen seat. He can still do it with that longer frame. Kind of. I think that would look great. Maybe not the wheel. The wheels are okay on that one, but I like the spoke wheels. If I'm gonna
Oh
do
yeah,
it.
spoke wheels is
Is yours a single down tube too, Dr. Harlan?
Probably
One
not. I don't know.
think so.
I
Let me
don't.
look
I don't
at
think it
again.
is.
Hold on.
Uh,
No, it's a twin down tube, but I want to have the tank sit on top of the backbone, not dropping around it and cover half the motor. I want the whole top of the motor exposed, so
Yeah.
you can
Yeah, I think
see it.
I agree. I think that looks better.
yeah, I wouldn't.
It's like putting
I
the
would-
Mona Lisa under a blanket.
Yeah, it does. Somebody's hitting balloons through your fucking
I-
screen. Is that your
I-
wife?
I
Renee,
do
is
not
that
know.
you watching in the damn dark? We did this last time. He has hearts and balloons.
She's
that come
supposed to be
through.
at work.
Yeah, she's at work. All right. She's watching you, making sure you're not going to be an idiot.
Well, too late for that.
Why she married him for the
many
that
years
bike-
too late.
That bike has been built. That ship has sailed.
I have
Whatever
to
else
say
you want to
though,
say.
I like tacos, so
Yes.
just saying, I like tacos. But yeah, man, I mean, I think it's. I think you can go many different routes with it, man. You just have to decide if you want to mess with the frame, because you can cut that frame and take a couple inches out, put a couple inches in different places. You can make it a one down tube. You can do a lot with it. It's just,
Well, I've already
Or
got
you could cut
plans
the
to
rear-
modify the frame already.
and that's what I mean. If you really wanted to mess with it, if you had the money to do it, you could cut the frame, the back end, and buy one of those weld-on, hardtails. I know it's already a hardtail, but it would give it a different stance to the rear, and you know what I mean.
Yep.
It would be a little different because that. What's up, Kelly B? Good to see you, brother. And it would be a different style of the rear, so you could turn. You could maneuver to the way you actually wanted the bike to look.
Yep.
So.
But I already have plans of modifying the frame, and my neighbor next door is a licensed welder, and he's done welds on cages on 2,000 horsepower drag cars and things like that. So I think he's more than
Oh yeah.
qualified to do some welding for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a lot of plans in my head to change this frame. But first things first. I want to get the front end. I want to get the tank. I want to get a motor, a trans, an open primary, and then once I have all that, then I could start working on the electronics, the wiring, the ignition, because it's an Evo frame for an Evo motor, so I could put either an Evo in there or a shovel head.
Yeah.
And I'd have to modify the engine mounts for the shovel head, but no big deal. Same thing for the transmission, no big deal. It's just a lot more metal work for me. But it all depends on what I could get my hands on. whether it's donated or very inexpensively. I mean,
I was gonna say, dude, Shovelhead, yes, is awesome, but Evo, dude, you can run an Evo through a freaking lake and come out and it still run. I mean,
absolutely.
dude, Evos are such a strong motor. I think I'd go Evo. I mean, really, I would. And yes, I love Shovel. Don't get me wrong. I love Pan. I love Knuckle. But who's got that kind of money? I mean, I don't. I mean, there's
Yeah.
people out there that do, but I don't. So I would
mean,
go Evo.
I was so serious. They had a motorcycle auction up at the Catskills, and my first time ever in an auction. So, yeah, it didn't turn out well for me.
It's tempting, ain't it? But it's tough, man. When you got those people there and they're like, no, they want it. They're going to get it.
Everybody overpaid for what bikes.
Oh yeah, and it just makes the price, because once people start paying that and it starts being known out there that they're going them prices, then everybody else wants to charge it, and then they're not affordable anymore. Because one guy pays 30 grand for a barn fine panhead or knucklehead that's rusted completely, and they're going to have to completely take it apart and redo it.
Oh, hold on.
Guess what?
If it's a legit Harley Davidson pan or knuckle, it's worth 30 grand all day.
Yes, but what I'm saying though is, even if it's a barn find, when that word gets around, dude, do you know how many people are going to say, I can get more out of it? I'm not going to take your 12 grand or 10 grand. I can get more out of it. These old timers, they know that stuff. And that's why they've hung on to it for years and years, because they know it will eventually sell and they'll get out what they want, And
For instance, a 97 Softail that dropped at the Hammer at $5,200.
oh my God.
For a 97 Softail.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A 92 Electric Glide, that Hammer dropped at $3,500. And I'm sitting there going, and opening bids on each of these bikes for $2,500. And I'm like, you know what? I could throw $3 grand on the credit card and be comfortable with it and get a donor bike.
Yeah.
And these bikes haven't seen the light of day in 15 years. And they're firing them up and they're just ramming the throttle, saying they sound great, they run strong. I'm like, you got 15-year oil in there. You're not running them up. They're gonna, I'm
freaking rats are living in the heads of them. Yeah.
That just saved me a rebuild.
Well, some oil, some water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It saved me a rebuild. Because they said all they did was, clean the gas tanks and carburetors and put a new battery in it.
And not change the oil, huh?
Nope.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to do that?
I don't know, man. If you could get away with it, I'd just go online on Marketplace or something, Facebook or something, and find you a little old Sportster for about $1,500,
Yep.
and that's the way I'd go. Even if you don't use the frame, pull the motor out. Dude,
So the bidding started, right? And like 2,600 hit. I said 2,650, and by the time I put it down, someone goes 4,500.
See, yeah,
$5 grand, 5,200, and I'm like, what the just happened?
Yeah, them auctions are funny.
2,650 to $5 grand, literally
in two hands,
30 seconds.
Yeah, it's amazing how that shit works, ain't it? And it's crazy because them people got money to burn.
So yeah. Hey, speaking of auctions, or selling stuff, I've got that Moonshine Pro Stock header that I had on. So I put it on. I went to the D&D 2-into-1, and so I have that header and the slip-ons on Marketplace, and I had a guy, and I've got the header for like a crazy good deal. I think $349 or something like that, with the plug-ins and everything, for the O2 sensors. And a guy just like pays money, never contacted me, never asked me any questions about it. I go and look, it's a 2023 profile, new profile, can't see anything else. So I just send him a message and say, hey, give me a call, let's talk. And nothing. So then I just cancel his order.
Well, did he pay you for it?
Well, he with Facebook, and that's the thing. I'm not sure exactly how, like when that goes into escrow, like I'm not exactly sure how that works. You know, I'm so I was going to ask you guys about that because I've had scammers try and take me for stuff, but I've never actually had them pay me, or at least it appears that they paid through Marketplace, so it's in that
Yeah.
escrow account.
I've never
I-
had that happen.
I've
When
never
I put
paid.
something on Marketplace, I'm like, will not ship, local pickup only, or we'll meet you within a 25-mile radius.
I just now today set up a cash out, dude, and like I don't know anything about that stuff. Like I don't. That's the first time I've ever done anything like
it's just
that.
one of those
so
things where I just think the guy's going to scam it because, I mean, first of all, who in the world buys anything, even when I buy on Marketplace?
I want to
if
look
I'm
at it.
spend- If I'm spending $350, I'm going to at least talk to the guy. Hey, how long was this on the bike? Are there any cracks or, does it come with gaskets? Like what? I mean, you're going to replace those gaskets anyway, but still, you're going
Does
to
it come
ask
with
some
flange?
question, right? You're going to ask something. You're going to ask some questions.
Any road rash, any, spray.
Right. Do you have the heat shields with it or something? Right. And like just nothing. Like to me, that's a big red flag.
Yeah.
And like I said, though, I canceled his order. He put it right back in. And I said, hey, I need you to call me or I'm not doing this deal, which
Yeah.
is weird, but yeah, I mean, and I just don't know, how easy is it to scam Facebook Marketplace,
I don't know either.
I've never dealt with it. Now, what I like to do is just check my local shops.
Yep. Oh, and by the
Excuse
way,
me, like-
I've got a Zippers 472 cam. If somebody wants a good deal on that, as of tomorrow, that will
Brooklyn
be
Biker
available.
says, where's a good place to go online to get bikes? I don't really know. I just like
I have
to,
no idea.
I like to scout them on my local plate, local dealers, like local, backwood shops and stuff like that. And usually it's always word by mouth, by mouth. And like this guy's got this or this guy's got that, or I'm selling this for somebody, da da da. So
Yep.
he says,
Well,
be
if you
careful
look
with
at it,
Cash App. Don't
The guy
trust him
who
either.
spent $5,200 on that bike, he still had a 20% premium he had to pay to the auction house.
20%.
Yep.
Good grief, man.
Yeah, so he's paying. He.
I mean, I thought 5 to 10% was like kind of normal. 20%. Good
20%.
Lord.
Yeah, you're not going to get out of there without paying something. I mean, it's. Why I said it.
So that $5,200 bike just cost him about $6,300.
Yeah.
Way to overspend on a bike.
Yeah, like, dude, really, you could have went to any like local bike night or anything.
You go to
or
Cycle
any
Trader
event.
and pay less than that.
Yeah, you find them all day at like events that people just saying, "Hey, I'm selling this." Want something different.
I will say this: the best deals are like you guys are talking about. It's like word of mouth. Like somebody says, "Hey, I saw this bike," or oh, another guy I know, he's just decided to put his up for sale, but he hadn't really. And you kind of, you go in there and give him.
Well, I like to go to swap meets, man, because there's always somebody that's got some bike for sale. Like here the first of every Sunday, a place over in Clinton. Called Biker Rags, man. Guy had a shovel, 70-something shovel, sporty, all there together for sale. And then the mechanic down the road, he's got a 51 pan sitting in the garage. He's, redoing and for sale, and got a regular 07, one of those Dynas or FXR, whatever you call them. And then got like a 2010, I think, or something like that, Ultra electric glide. I mean, it's just, I can find bikes, used bikes are easy to find for me, but I always see them, I'll stop and talk and ask about them. And hell, all they can do is tell you they're not for sale. I mean,
right.
Yep.
Hey, I'm just hoping I win
right
that
now,
37 from Wheels Through Time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the FXR right now is getting all the money.
Yep.
If you wanted to buy an FXR Dyna, you're going to pay all the money for it because for some reason within the past 3 years, they've become very popular and everybody wants them, which drives the price way up.
Yep. Dude, I bet 3 times a week somebody stops in my house and asks me if I want to sell my Sportster. I mean, that's no shit.
Yeah.
And because they want that bike because of the color, they love it. It's the Nightster and the way it's set up and the way it looks. But
It's a good looking bike.
yeah, and I've had people just be like, certain people want to turn it into, club style, that performance, T-bars and shit like that. And that was my first Harley. And like I said, I'd have to really be desperate to get rid of it,
Is there a price that
No.
somebody offer you stupid money and you take it?
No, probably not. I want to do so much with it though. I don't want to. Dude, I paid $6,000 for it and it didn't even have 2,000 miles on it or so.
Listen, both my bikes are for sale for the right price.
It was one owner, 82-year-old man. He barely drove it. He bought it brand new off the showroom floor. I know everything about the bike. I've got all the paperwork of everything he had done to it. Oil, every time he serviced it, everything. It's a great bike, great motor. I mean, honestly, I just wouldn't sell it unless someone said, "Hey, I give you 12, 15 grand." Yeah, of course, I'd probably take it then. But if someone says, "Hey, I'll give you 4 or 5 grand," no, there's no way.
One of my
Well,
customers came in and wanted to
not
buy
worth it.
baseball. I said it's not for sale.
It's a 08.
He's like
Brooklyn.
everything's for sale. I says, yeah, everything is. He goes, so what's your number to sell that bike? I said, for me to get rid of that bike today, 30 grand. He's like, okay, we'll talk.
I think the only people that would pay me what I would want to get rid of my bike I got right now would be the insurance company.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be.
Now this guy said he was serious about buying that bike from me for 30 grand.
Hey,
It's a 2020 Lowrider S. The book value on it is like 14,000, I think.
But is that without the motor and stuff?
That's a stock Lowrider S, but you can't value a bike with all the upgrades you did to it.
Yeah.
well, you can, but then the people on Facebook will do the laughing at you emojis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Which,
Yeah.
by the way, I always think is hilarious. Like, who the fuck? Why do you care what somebody else prices their bike at? Like,
Yeah,
if,
I mean,
if I see somebody that has some crazy number on a bike, I just
Good
look
luck.
at it and go, move
I
on.
see it there a year later, still sitting there. I mean, but
Probably will,
Yeah, I mean,
but they will have come down $500.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. It's it's people's right to if I wanted to say, hey, I'll take $15,000 for it, they can laugh at me all day, but that's okay because I know I don't want to get rid of it, and that keeps the people away from asking. You know what I mean?
That's
so,
right.
I mean, bottom line.
Except, what if you get that crazy dude that just
Then I would sell it and turn around and go buy me another used bike. Truthfully.
Yep.
I mean,
well, and
but
and here's the thing: how many things sell right where you go? That's nuts. But it sold.
yeah.
Somebody bought it at that price.
Mhm.
So, I mean, look today. You think Ford and Chevy, who deserves getting laughed at more than those guys? My gosh, they're selling like $100,000 trucks. Like,
Yeah,
and they're only 1,500 series or
Yeah.
F-150.
I'm not laughing at Ford and Chevy. I'm laughing at the people that's buying them. Like, you're crazy.
As
I'm not
you
paying
should.
that crazy. Yeah, not paying no $150,000 for a fucking truck. You're crazy. Ain't no way.
but
Turn
but
around,
the
they turn
but the
around,
crazy
trade
thing
that
is people
truck
are
in 2-3
buying.
years later, you'll get it for half that money.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. It's they.
I'm all for letting somebody else pay the depreciation for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I understand people need it. Like you're pulling a damn RV. You know what I mean? There's people
yeah.
that actually have to have those kind of trucks, the big trucks and stuff. But for someone to go out here and just, I bought this truck just to ride around it, whatever. dude, like you don't do any farm work. You don't do. Why'd you buy that such a big truck and expensive truck? You know, to look cool. I mean, I just, which that's their business. That's what they want to do. But
Yeah.
to me, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go find me a used truck for about $20K if I'm going to do that route. You know,
My
and-
my buddy
and
bought a Ram.
drive a
25
shitty truck.
A buddy of mine bought a Ram 2500. I said, "The hell'd you buy a truck like that for? You're not pulling anything around." He goes, "Yeah, I'm pulling around my balls." I said, "Well, then all you need was a smart car."
Yeah.
Well, really, like a 3-wheeler. And we're not even sure about that third wheel.
No, the smart car. That's all he needed.
Meet me. By the way, is there a less properly named vehicle than the smart car? Because
There's nothing smart about it.
man,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I might as well
That's
call
all
it.
You know those
it's
little,
a suitcase
little type
car.
Fisher Price cars that for kids.
Oh yeah. The little
Well, it's
bitty.
an adult version.
Yeah, little tyke.
Yeah,
It's the little Tonka toy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
There's
call
a-
it a Tonka toy. It's a little bitty like.
If it's in an accident, though, it's a transformer. It
I was
transforms.
gonna say
into a
those.
suitcase.
transforms into a coffin.
Hey, those damn. What is it? The South Carolina drag dudes that do the rear
Or
drops in their truck.
Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
they'll
South
run up.
Carolina drop. Yeah,
They'll run over those little cars, won't they? I mean, they just.
that's a good look. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Oh yeah. Like really, daddy's money's going to really good stuff, ain't it? I mean, if my kid did that, I would smack the shit out of him and say, "What the hell did you just mess that truck up for?"
When I
mean,
was a kid, all we did was like spend money on air shocks so we could get. We wanted the back jacked up as high as you could get it, right? And now, I guess like it's just like everything else. It's just a backlash, right? It's like bell bottom jeans or
Yep.
are those
Well,
mom
the
jeans?
idea behind the Carolina squat is so when you're going through the mud bogs, the front end doesn't plow through the mud. Well, I guarantee you 99.9999% of those trucks don't see anything other than, asphalt.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not in the mud. They're not now. There's certain ones that do the mud and stuff, but you will see their trucks are not lowered in the rear. Them fuckers are up, 5 feet on front and back. So
Well, South Carolina passed a law if the front end, if your headlights are more than 12 inches higher than stock and your backlights are more than 6 inches lower than stock, it's an illegal modification.
Yeah.
And it's a tow on site. It's a tow ticket.
yeah, my Chevrolet, dude, it's a single cab 1500, and I've done nothing to it but drive it. It's got 300,000
Gas,
miles on it. Yeah, and my daughter drives it now to school and work, and it's a round the town truck, and it's a 2004, and I've done nothing to it except tinted the windows. That was years ago. That's it, and I'm okay with it. It's a 4-wheel drive, and because I had to have it cutting firewood and the winter times around here. So, I mean, I've never seen the point of doing something like that, and it's not my style, a vehicle to me is I use it, so I need it for what it's meant for, So
The Ram I had, the modifications I did to that was one of those backflip tonneau covers to keep the snow out of the bed.
yeah,
So I'm not dragging snow around. And
dude, get
Rain
off your damn
guards
dozer. It's
and-
dark.
window tent, and that's it, man, because I use it to tow a trailer.
Yeah, I think those back things are good for trash too. You can throw trash in the back and cover them up, and the animals don't get in them.
Also good for trash when you go in the grocery store, you walk out and you see people throwing their empty drink
Shit, yeah.
cups in there and soda cans. I'm like, what
Yep.
the?
Yeah. Now I get like the little S10s and stuff like that. There was a series of people doing the low riders and stuff, and that's a completely different truck in my opinion. But like I said, I actually have to use my vehicles so for what they're made for. So I don't modify anything. unless it's the motorcycle, and I just modify it to my need, so, but yeah, man,
Not
I
me,
feel like
I
my
leave my
allergies
motor-
are killing me.
Right, not me. I leave my motorcycles 100% bone stock.
Yeah, I bet. That's why they
I've
do
seen his
Mach 100.
videos. It's true.
Yeah, I mean they
Yeah.
identify as being EPA compliant in stock.
There's your t-shirt.
Yep.
My motorcycle identifies as stock.
Yeah, there you go.
And let's see. And all the parts that went on it were in stock at somebody's shelf. So
That's
it's
right.
stock.
That's right. They were at Dennis Kirk or J&P or somebody.
Mostly Fuel Moto.
Fuel. Yeah. Well, that's where all the good stock parts come from.
That's it.
S&S, Fuel Moto. Yeah.
HPI.
Holly carburetor. Holly was always big time, I think. wasn't it?
Holly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're expensive though, man.
Edelbrock. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Edelbrock, yeah.
Moroso's right here in Connecticut.
Oh, yeah. There's another hot rod company.
Yep.
For off-road use only.
Yeah. Well, that's the issue I guess I'm gonna have with the exhaust on the motorcycle, right? They got the cats in them.
Well, when I ordered my head pipe, I actually said it's for off-road use only.
Yep.
So my bike doesn't see road at all.
What's up, Kazumoto? Yeah. So
Morning,
I mean, it's because I'm still going to go with the Sidewinder S&S 2-in-1. The only thing I don't like is having that smaller motor, the 96 cubic inch.
It's fine.
Yeah, but the back slip on is like a 4.5, man.
So
I mean, it's got a baffle and stuff, so it'll be a lot different from the other 4.5s I had on, because the other 4.5s I had on didn't have baffles or nothing, and these damn straight header pipes suck.
yeah, you got
I mean,
Sharpbird, right?
Yeah, I had those, but I mean, I took them off. I put factory back on. But the header pipes is what's hurting me, I believe. They're just a straight header pipe, drag pipe, straight
Well,
dual
and you also
headers.
got- at the back jug, it should be a wide pipe
Yeah.
that splits that back cylinder between the left and right side of the bike, and that's actually hurting you.
Yeah. And that's why whoever put that on there before I got the bike obviously didn't know what the
That's
hell they were
factory.
doing. Yeah. Well, it doesn't have that split pipe.
But that's why I changed over I went from the crossover, the true duals crossover with the Chromeworks slip-ons, and I went with that. I tell you what, that is one of the best. D&D makes some good stuff, man. I like their exhaust, and I love the sound of that 2-in-1. It's mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
it
the
sounds
sound
good.
of the Chromeworks as well. I do
Oh no,
like
I wasn't unhappy with them.
the,
'cause I was running their
also
big-
like
their
the
big
sound of my tabs.
I had
Does
tabs
Robbie have it?
on my Indian, and they were nasty too. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, any of the big time manufacturers, they're all great. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
personal. At some point, it's almost personal preference. It's like, because
And I think
you're not
yeah.
getting. No, it's not like you said. It's not like Tab or Chromeworks or D&D or S&S or any of these guys are making something crummy. It's all I mean, they
Well,
all
Yeah,
my
I
opinion-
agree. I
R&D.
think it's what you prefer, the sound or the performance, because they're not really. I don't really see a big difference in it. Yeah, there may be a slight difference in the performance, but
I think
don't a lot-
2-in-1 is a big difference, but I would.
Yeah.
I mean, but even that. What do you think, Dr. Holly? You think I mean, 5? Is it 5 or 10% improvement?
If you do a 2-in-1?
2-in-1? Yeah.
more than that
Oh, okay. Well,
in
there you
torque
go.
numbers, not in horsepower, but in torque.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of, so we leave here like in less than 3 weeks, and so I'm getting the cam. I've got the Thundermax ECM in there that auto tunes. But again, that only auto tunes to the parameters that are put in there by a human being.
Mhm.
So anyway, I got the cam going in tomorrow, and I didn't want to try and like get a dyno tuner up here on short notice and not really be able to do a research. But anyway, I found a guy in Richmond who was recommended to me, and he was recommended to me by Thundermax too, as a one of their guys, and he has a great reputation as near as I can tell, and so I'm making a date
Leap of
with that
faith.
guy as soon as I get there, and I'm gonna let him dyno tune it and give me a proper baseline, and then the auto tuner can
Actually, the dyno tune will be better than an auto tune.
yeah. Well, and so tell me if I'm wrong, Dr. Harley. This is, and I'm sure a lot of people that know little like me about, when you say auto tune, I always thought, oh, okay, well, you give it a baseline map based on, like your intake, your, the pipes, your cam, all that kind of stuff.
Your injectors. and-
Yeah, injectors. And then it's going to give you a good tune. But then really from the research I did, and I finally came to understand this, and again, I'm a slow learner, so is that the auto tune, all it's doing is saying, hey, look, no matter where you're at, right, what's elevation, that sort of thing, this thing is always going to try and get your air fuel mixture to the point where it was set, right? And so the thing is, so if your baseline map is off, it's only going to try and auto tune to the off map.
Right. But
Right.
when you auto tune, it's because with that tuner, you have a wide band O2 sensors, not the narrow band.
Right.
And the difference is when you tune with the narrow band, you're only tuning within this much of a parameter, right? Narrow space. When you go with a wide band, you're tuning within a space wider than my arms. And it's going to read your wideband O2 sensors and adjust your air fuel ratios to, a 14 to 1, 13 and a half to 1 ratio, however you set it within Thundermax. However, it will not adjust your timing. Now, that's where you're going to start to make real power is with, an auto tune will get you your good baseline tune. A dyno tuner will get your final tune, which he can adjust all your air fuel ratios at every fuel zone and every timing zone and every gear, and also set your timing, whether he's going to advance or retard the timing
Right.
at different RPMs, different gears, and get you the most out of that bike. So a dyno tune is your final tune. An auto tune is like a can tune. We're just going to get you going and get you running, and you're not going to get everything out of it, but it's going to run okay.
Right. Yeah.
So if you do a dyno tune, then you don't need to put that tuner on it.
Well, for the TTS tuner, it's a ECU replacement, so he needs to leave it in. Where
Okay.
I use the Dyno Vision Power Vision tuner. Once the auto tune sessions were done and I got to a dyno tuner and they did their thing and they were okay. Eighth uppers, and I took it to a different dyno tuner and he fixed it 100%, got me the most out of the bike. That's reliable, dependable, fuel efficient. And so I'm getting 170 miles out of a tank of gas now, where before I was getting 105.
That's good.
Yeah. Because the first dyno tuner had it so rich right at the 2,800 to 3,300 RPMs. I'm surprised it didn't wash out the cylinders.
Well, right. And that's the place where you're like
normally cruising.
Yeah. I mean, like that. And that's the thing. Like, I can tell you right now, there's the thumpers.
Hello.
That's exactly where I'm happy for it to be a little lean. Is like you said, 6 gear, I normally cruise at 80, 85.
That's
fr-
33,000 to 32,
Yeah.
3,300.
Right. Yeah. And so, yeah. And if and even if I'm doing 65 or 70, then that's like 2,800 or somewhere in there. And that's like, man, I don't care. I mean, like I said, in any other gear, you're blasting through that RPM range so fast,
Yep.
it doesn't matter, you know.
Yep.
But like I said, 6th gear, I don't need that to freaking be running riches, you know, Richie Rich.
Or
Yeah.
just in that RPM range, period.
Right.
Granted, on Spaceballs, first, second, third, I'm hardly below 3,800. It's the 5th and 6th gear. I actually get scared going above, 3,500 on that bike, because it just gets stupid fast, really quick. I mean, 140 miles an hour comes up like that, and that's stupid fast.
Yeah.
And
It's cool, but it ain't. I mean,
I've done that
did it
fast on a
twice.
motorcycle twice.
I'm good.
yeah. I don't even know what I got up to on that other bike the other day. I hit a straightaway with Dana's bike.
1 million miles an hour.
I don't
Oh,
know.
it was on Dana's bike. You only
Yeah,
did
the 117.
72 miles.
Is that
an
what
hour.
it was?
That's what you told her. 72 miles an hour tops. And you didn't redline it.
No, I don't think I did. I don't know what I did. I may have just got up to 70. I took off. I know.
Oh no, I'm just messing with you.
I hit those
I
gears
was hoping
fast.
she was
No,
here.
truthfully, I probably got up to about 100, but I didn't really. I mean, I wanted to get on it, see what he was going to do. So
That
it,
M8 Lowrider S or the ST,
it was fun to
you
ride,
get to
man.
100 real fast. You don't even realize
It's a mover.
We
on
hit a
that
2-lane. We hit a 2-lane, and they were pulling the camera. They went over, and I just took off, and I just wanted to do it, just to see. And he knew what I was going to do. Probably, I think he did because, he moved over in the other lane anyways to get in the other lane, and I was like, man, I'm really just wanting to just haul ass. So I did.
Thumper
And-
would have been disappointed if you didn't, probably.
So they're having really
Yeah, it was
fucking
quick.
issues
Uh,
on that new bike. I don't understand how they could have something issues on that new bike.
I don't know.
But if it was me, I'd just bring it to the dealer and say, fix it.
She tried, and they wasn't. They were so busy the other day when we were there. She went and checked on them, and they were like, "We can't even get you in," So,
Oh, on the Road King.
Yeah.
Wait, on
Flipping
Thumper's bike?
dollars out of the wallet. Yeah.
Easy fix for that. SNS oil pump cam plate and put in a crankcase, some sort of ventilation other than what's already
I
there.
think I was about to say because I know Thumper's got some venting.
Yeah, he's got the
Trask.
Does he have the vented transmission cover or?
Yeah, that would be the Trask
or
or
does he-
vented dipstick.
I've got the vented dipstick on mine, and
I don't know what all he's got. He's even got the love chugs on it too, and so it's they're waiting on Tom's son to play. They're in Nashville, going to watch Tom's son play
Oh, nice.
tonight. Yeah, that'd be cool to get to watch that. Tom's a good dude, man. He's a character, man. And then meeting him is just like really just like hell yeah, man. He's just so his mindset and attitude is just so laid back, dude. Like even when he's, drinking a little bit, he says cover. Yeah.
Yep.
He's just so like calm and fun to be around, man. Like he's like, I can't wait till you guys get around these guys. And I mean, Doc,
Right.
you've been around Monkey and them, haven't you? You know, I mean,
I have.
but yeah. I mean, it's just
Well, who all's coming to Dallas's deal?
well,
Is
as
there a
far as I
list?
know,
Dallas will be
did-
there.
he did
He
a
has to be.
thing.
It's
He wants
required
it.
by law.
Yeah. They set up a thing for everybody to RSVP to just kind of get a head count and stuff. I can't remember. There's so many that, you know, I think at one time, a couple months ago, me and Dallas counted, there was probably 35 to 40 people.
Wow, that's a good
Yeah.
crew.
Yeah.
Nice turnout.
And that's like from all over the place, man. That's from Jersey people to, you know, Virginia to, you know, Florida to, I mean, just everywhere. You know, I can't even remember everywhere. And Windrow Therapy, and there's just a lot of people that's going to be there. And like I said, I think it's really. I hope they all show up still. I think it's just. I think it's going to take the days that get there to see who's actually going. You know, that's going to be there. So, I mean, because a lot of people book their stuff already. You know, and
Yep, we're booked.
and I hope they just, you know, they follow through, because I think it'll be such a good meetup and a time to meet with everybody
Yep.
and get to
Unfortunately,
meet
I won't be
people
there.
and get to meet people that,
That's a
you
bummer.
know, yeah, and get to meet people that I haven't got to meet yet. And
Well, I screwed up, and Dr. Harley and I could have met in Milwaukee, and I just friggin' had a brain fart and didn't do it, and should have.
I wish I knew
reason.
you were there, Keith. I would have reached out to you too.
No,
Yeah.
it was my fault. Like, because I knew you were going to be there, and that's on me.
Jamin's coming down.
You know what,
Yeah,
Keith?
the park
It's a
is
beautiful thing.
full.
You know why? We got the rest of our lives to figure it out.
That's right. At
Yeah.
least 50 or 100 more years.
Well, good luck with that.
Not me.
You know.
Hey, man, you
Uh,
never know with the way that if science doesn't kill us, it'll make us live to be 200.
Yeah.
They either kill you at 20 or you live to be 200. There's no in between.
Well, they say only the good die young, so I'm not good because I'm
No,
not
Billy
young.
Joel says that.
But Billy
Oh, hey,
Joel puts a Peter in his mouth too, so who knows?
What?
If that's true.
What? Don't ruin Billy Joel for me.
The Piano Man. It was really the penis man.
I thought he married supermodels.
He did until they found out his secrets.
Oh, God.
I'm just teasing. I don't know who he is, anyways. I know he sings that one piano song or something, I think.
That's right.
Well, guys,
Ray just
I'm-
wants to destroy my.
your image of yeah, he does own a motorcycle shop, a classic, you know.
No, he is.
BSAs.
He's a motorcycle dude.
Yeah, he's a big motorcycle dude.
But
Yeah,
now I
and
got it
it's,
in my head like this. He's like, "Sing us the song, Yellow
Why you
Piano Man."
why do you think he rides those little, you know?
those British
Like-
bikes?
Yeah.
So, Keith, I have an idea. As a moderator, can I kick Ray out of his own life?
If he says one more bad thing about Billy Joel,
I'm
yes.
ending it anyways. I got allergies, man. My eyes actually killing me. I don't know
Oh,
what's
hey,
wrong with
before
me.
we cut loose, though, I was going to tell you, Ray, I got a guy that you should have on your show.
Well, where is he?
So he's a friend of mine, and he's a YouTuber guy, but his name's Riding Fish. He rides an Indian, but he just got back. I talked to him 2 days ago. He just got back from India, and Indian gave him a bike to ride over there, and he rode to the it's the highest. I think it's the highest drivable pass. Elton John. It's like at almost, I think it's like 18,000 something feet, above sea level.
Yeah.
But he did like this whole adventure riding a bike all around India, and just a crazy trip.
Now,
And
that's someplace I would not want to drive is India. If you've seen any of the videos of how
he
those
said it
people
was
drive,
nuts.
it's insane.
I don't know, man. El Buffalo, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I just think that What did he take it? What did he ride on though? Was it a
Like it's their dual that
dual
is it FXR
sport?
or FJR or whatever. What is it? The 1200. It's that
Polaris bike.
it is. Hold on, I don't. Shoot.
Uh,
I guess before I talk, I should.
What's going on with El Buffalo? Yeah,
Somebody out there's got to know that that
Thumper,
motorcycle.
there is actually Dry County somewhere, but we drink anyways, I guess.
It
XAN says
is-
he watches. I think XAN he probably subscribes to probably like 50,000 channels. No offense, XAN, but I bet you got how many
after-
channels do you subscribe to,
After tonight,
XAN?
Ray, he's going to be subscribed to 49,999, and you're going to go down. to
No,
500.
Oh man,
Yeah, XAN's
That'd
a
be
good
so funny.
friend.
tomorrow
Wait.
Ray does a whole nother like logo deal where it's back to $4.99, and he's like, "Come on,
I did,
man."
dude. I hit 500 and then hit 501 and then hit 502 and then, or actually, I hit 500, dropped back to 499 that same night, and then went back to 501, then 502, and then I've dropped once or twice again. So it's all right. I know it's just gonna, back and
Goes
forth.
up
So
and down all the time.
yeah,
It's their FTR. It's their FTR line.
FTR. All right, Thumpers. Have a good
Yeah.
night. Don't do anything crazy.
But
Enjoy
then
the
another
music.
guy that was with him was on like a Super Chief or something, which was really crazy. But Fred did a burnout at that highest point place. There's a big sign, and he did a burnout on the bike in front of that sign, which I thought was hilarious.
That's awesome.
He said, "I think I'm the only documented person. It's only documented case of a burnout at 18,000 feet."
What's up, Joe? Thanks for checking in, buddy. I'm fixing to cut it anyways. But yeah, next week I'm trying to line some special guest up, a special guest. So I'm just trying to work with this guy on his schedule. So hopefully, if y'all stay tuned for next week, man, hopefully I'll have a pretty cool dude on and his wife. If she
Well, that
Is it
counts
Billy
me out.
Joel?
if she wants to be, no, it's the owner of a magazine. So it's a motorcycle magazine. So you guys just kind of get to stay tuned. We've already lined things up. Hopefully his schedule will clear up. So I'll be interviewing him and he'll be talking a little bit about, how he got started. He's 25 years in the business now. So met him at Smokeout, really great dude, him and his wife both. Like I said, networking and anything that can help him out, I don't care to do because he's a really cool dude, him and his wife. So,
Yep.
XAN says 200 plus. So, man, I got like 5 people I'm subscribed to, and that's it. I can't subscribe to 150 people, man. I just can't do it. No, actually, I think I've got 86 or 87 people I subscribe to,
I'm
and that's a
about
lot.
110 I subscribe to.
I mean, I'm in the mid 80s, but I try to support the people that support me, of course,
Yep.
and that's fair, to support them because they support me. Now, there's a lot of channels I used to be subscribed to. I used to be up in the hundreds, but I went through and unsubscribed because they're so big that I get so sick of their content because it ain't content no more. They're just trying to push shit on everybody, and I don't watch that anyways. So I don't really watch those kind of channels. And so I unsubscribe because when they're in the 50,000, 60,000, my little one subscriber ain't going to hurt them that much. So,
Right.
No offense to them, but I just don't watch a lot of that stuff. And I don't have time to sit and watch every video they make. You know what I mean? It's so hard as what we do, to sit and watch a lot of people's every video they've ever done. And I just can't do it. And I'm not making excuses. I am who I am. And I can't subscribe to everybody. I can't watch everybody's stuff. I don't have the time between the house, the kids, my own stuff going on with my channel. It's hard to do. But now the people I have met, I'll be honest, the people I've met in person, I always, of course, I have their notifications on, and they're the first people I watch when their videos pop up. And Doc, he's one of them. I still ain't met him in person, but I have his lives and his premieres and all that. I have notifications on.
And we have each other's phone number.
Yeah, that's right. And, like I said, there's very few people that, I always keep their notifications on because I've met these people. I know who they are. I enjoy watching them or enjoy being part of their channel. So, like El Buffalo, dude, I've never met that guy, but let me tell you, I've got his notifications on because I was recommended to him a long time ago, and I've enjoyed everything they put out. Follow them on Instagram. They follow me back. And there's probably 4 or 5 that I've not met that I'm really dedicated to the notifications, So, but my main thing is the people I meet, I really, really, I want to make sure that I support them first,
Yep. Don't worry, Ray. We'll meet in March.
Oh yeah, we're going to meet because I'm going to go to Florida and have a good time.
That's right.
So
We will
Well,
be
you're
in
staying with Mike
Daytona.
and I.
if I have to hitchhike to Florida, I'll get there, If I let me just tell you, when I jump on the bike and if it breaks down in Georgia, I'm just going to park it at my brother's and hitchhike for the rest of the way because he lives in Georgia. So,
We're going
something
right through,
happens.
Ray, we're
Hey.
going right through Georgia. So
Tom
If
will
it
pick
hap-
you up in his white ice cream van.
There you go. Bill, you mean? Bill's got Bill will be down
Oh, that's
there.
right. Bill's got
Bill.
the ice cream van.
Yeah, he's a good dude now. Bill's God, man, that guy's so funny. He's a good dude. And there's other people that don't even have channels that I follow on Instagram that's really good people, and I really like to keep up with them too. So but yeah,
Ray,
man, I just think, we're going to have a blast in March,
we will. And everybody, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to Ray's Moto Life.
Yes,
There you
please. It helps those YouTuber algorithms or whatever they call it.
And if you
I don't
haven't
know.
yet, smash that like button.
Yeah.
And it's so simple.
It's free.
Even a biker can do it.
Yeah.
So simple, a biker could do it.
Or a
So,
rub
yeah.
or a poser.
Or just a flat out dude. You don't even have to be in the bike scene to watch YouTube or do any of that.
No.
You can just enjoy watching somebody's content. You
Well,
can sit on the
entertaining,
couch.
If it's entertaining enough, I don't even care what the subject is, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm interested in it, I'll watch it. So yeah, I'm going to end the.
I
the
watch
live.
people build underground houses in the woods in Russia.
Well, I don't know about Russia, but I like to watch them do the. I like to watch these people. Seriously, I like to watch the preppers. Those guys can really get into the apocalypse shit, and I enjoy the way they build their underground stuff and the way they booby trap their property.
Yep. Zombies
I'm
are
like,
coming.
damn, dude, I need to do that. I just carry a pistol, and someone comes to the door, I'm gonna shoot them. So that's my protection. That is,
Zombies are coming.
I got shotguns, rifles, pistols. You know what I mean? I don't set booby traps.
You got to set up perimeter cans, for noise warning.
Well, that's zombie
spotlights.
shit.
Hey, Keith, do Claymore mines count as perimeter early detection?
Well,
I believe they do.
The only bad thing about doing that is when you
It's
get drunk.
a double duty.
When you get drunk or messed up, you set your own alarm off.
Just point them that way.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, guys, we're going to end it here because my allergies are really irritating my eyes and they keep watering real bad. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed it. So we'll see you again later. So stay in your lane or crash the damn thing. See ya.